All right, so we've got our lightning down. This is looking pretty cool. There's still a lot more I could do, and I'm not going to go over every single thing, but there's definitely some really cool stuff. One thing is the lightning is here, but we're not getting like a lot of flash or flicker. So what I'm going to do is let's go up to the top. Let's see what we have here. Keep that on, I guess. All right, so I'm going to go up to the top and I want to do an effect. So I'm going to add a new layer. This time I'm going to add an adjustment layer. And with the adjustment layer, I can start to affect things, everything underneath it, similar to an adjustment layer in Photoshop. So with this adjustment layer selected, let's say we go in and we go under Effect, Color Correction. And let's say we're going to adjust, I don't know, let's say exposure. So here you could see how I can adjust things here. But let's go to where the lightning would actually happen. Let's say, okay, oops. Let's say things are going to get a little dark right here. And if I look at it, and let's say we can adjust either the master or set it to individual channels. Right? So if I go to individual channels, you see I can increase the blue of this. I could do the blue offset, like where is it affecting, gamma correction. So I could do stuff like this, as well as I could change how this adjustment layer is being applied. Like if I go to a linear burn or not a burn, we need a dodge. Let's try a color dodge like this. It's a bit much. Let's see. Okay, fine. Let's try linear dodge. And you could see I could do some different, oops, wrong one. I could do some different adjustments and see what it looks like. So this is one of those things that we can go in and make some adjustments to. But let's say we did something like this. And so I can bring down the other ones a little bit. I'm thinking that's a little hot. Let's go back a little bit. Okay. Increase that blue exposure a lot. I want to really push the blue exposure there. So that if I turn this off and on, we get this sort of effect here. As well as I want to tweak it out. I'm looking like I'm too cut out because everything gets here, it doesn't look bad as bad. When it gets to here, it gets a little bit darker. So before I finish that one off, let me go back to um, my guy here, and you see my curves are actually not keyed. I just have him kind of set that way. So I'm going to key the histogram and the curves so that when the world gets a little bit darker, I'm going to kind of make a little bit of an adjustment there, get a little more contrast, pop out the highlights a little. We see you have that here. And then as it transitions, it changes up a little bit. Okay, so let's go back up to our adjustment layer. And I have this cranked up. Let's turn that back on. Okay. That up a little bit. And I am going to adjust this so it's not quite as intense all over. Um, let's take an elliptical tool. Most of the lightning is going to be right here, so Control Shift, maybe right about there. And then in that mask, I am going to feather it so it blends out more. Off, we can see that it's blending out more. And let's see, expansion, I can adjust how much it's going to go out from there or tighten up. But the problem is, as much as I have that, I want to tweak this out. So with the blue exposure, let's go to that in the effects. And what I'm going to do is add a wiggle. So I want this parentheses. And let's say 5:15. Close parentheses, enter. So if I look at this now, let's just see what this is doing. That's cool. Now, I don't want it, even though you see it like happening all around. Like, let's say if we start from here. I guess it's not horrible, but let's say I wanted it to happen after. So that's where I would go in, press T for opacity, and let's key it at off. Let's say right about here, let's actually move that so it's off for about a second or two. And here we key it on. Maybe about 50%. So, nada. And we see it starting to come in. And then we can see it kind of grow. Let's boost it up even more. So, we're just adding this little effect here. I want to add more of this effect. So let's go now to the lightning. I'm going to duplicate the lightning. You see we intensify it. Let's grab the one beneath it. And what we're going to do is we are going to add a glow to this.